so excited. I've been looking for this chat. Looking forward to this chat. I haven't been looking at this chat. I've been looking forward to this chat all week long with Miss Zoey Luna, actress, supermodel, just extraordinary queen of this world, Miss Zoo. Can we do that again? Sorry. I get too excited.
No, we love it. Authenticity.
Yeah.
I'm usually a one-take wonder, but.
Well, life changes up like that all the time. So, yeah. Well, hi. I'm Zoey Luna, and
Wait, we're gonna intro.
Intro one more
Also,
time.
are we doing a song to intro her or no?
No.
Yeah.
got it. I thought this was live. I was.
Oh no.
I mean, it's live.
It's live.
Got it.
Like some episodes of the
It's live next Monday.
Perfect. Okay, great. Okay, cool.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back. I've been looking forward to this interview all week. I'm so excited to have Zoey Luna with us, actress, supermodel, the most beautiful face, the queen of the world, Zoey Luna with us. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How are y'all?
Good.
We're gonna give you that.
Doing well.
So Zoey, where are you right now?
Right now, I am in Fullerton, California, in my studio apartment, and I am also in a very mentally calm state of mind. So,
Well,
yeah.
that's
We
so
love
nice.
that.
How's the weather over there right now?
what was the weather?
Yeah.
We've been having overcast, but I think it's been hot. I don't know. I'm always
I
having
heard
the
from
AC
a
on
friend
to
about
60. Yeah.
AC stays on in our house. Like, Like Adam.
The other
loves
day,
AC.
Ashley goes, "What's it like outside?" I was like, "Oh, don't let me inside fool
Confuse
you.
you.
Like, don't let this AC fool you.
It's
hot.
hot as balls outside." Because she walked out with like a denim and like a little like light jacket, and I was like, "No,
Not yet.
No, baby.
It's not fall yet.
It might be
Ugh.
fall in this house, but it is not outside."
I love fall so
Even though I
much.
did just go shopping at TJ Maxx, shout out to our sponsor, and I got a new wreath for fall.
Ooh.
So
I did see it.
I did. I
trying
saw
to
that.
get
It's
fall,
cute.
y'all.
What?
Anyway,
Are you a fall girl?
I mean, purple's one of my favorite colors, and yeah, I would say that I'm pretty much a fall girl for sure. But I'm not an autumn white girl. So
You're not like a basic.
You don't
bitch.
want a pumpkin spice latte?
I mean, I actually, this is a year of first. I had my first official pumpkin spice latte, but I've been saying that I'm a PSL girl because I like the pumpkin spice frappuccinos. But honestly, the fraps are way better than the lattes. If you're gonna get a latte, just get like a hot matcha latte. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
so
I feel
this
you.
is like a month of first for you because in the green room you were saying that you just made French toast for the first time.
That's true.
Very that.
Wow, you were growing.
Very that.
Yeah.
Can I
Gross.
ask what your technique
You
is?
are
Because
growing.
I learned from my late sister, who she was like, "This is the best way to make French toast." So, like, what's your process? I just want to know real quick.
We love to eat.
Okay, so
Hungry. Sorry.
I definitely looked it up on YouTube how to do it. So I looked it up on YouTube, and I wouldn't say that my process is original yet. I do not have the Zoey Luna finesse to it, but I definitely just put eggs in a bowl, and then I put a lot of sugar, a lot of vanilla extract, and I think I put a lot of cinnamon in it. I don't know. I feel like that's what you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
yeah. So I just put all the ingredients. Oh, and then I put oat milk in it, vanilla oat milk.
That was going to be my question. What your dairy was, or your non?
Yeah. I mean, I like cheese, but for some reason milk just doesn't let me poop. So
I'm the same way. I hate milk, but I love cheese.
I love cheese.
yes.
And I'm
Cheese is so
constipated.
good.
And Braden's been baking bread lately, and so
Yeah.
I would love some cheese to go with said bread tonight.
So now you're telling me I have another task. I have to
You
learn
do.
how
You
to
have to learn
start
how to
making
make cheese
curdle
from scratch.
cheese. Okay,
Go buy a
got it.
cow too. You know,
Yeah,
just-
yeah,
I would love some goat cheese.
About the whole
But-
damn cow.
So
Oh
here's
my
my
God.
little tip. This is what my sister taught me: is to toast the bread before you soak it, so that way
Mhm.
it doesn't lose its like texture. But also use like coffee
Grinds.
Creamer.
Oh
wow.
Yeah, she was like, you like French vanilla creamer to dunk your toast in. That way, it's even sweeter, and it loses that like eggy taste to it.
So you're making French toast.
Yeah.
Right. So what you're saying is
that's how I made it last time.
So Zoey, welcome to Pride the Podcast.
Right.
We actually just talk about food. We're so glad that you're here. So give our listeners a little bit of an insight into who you are and who you have become today.
So insight into who I am. I am a person that dealt with way too many abusive bitches in my life. So I have become a very observant, very loud, and occasionally chaotic person. But definitely, yeah, I'm an actress. I am, I guess now a fucking director with my first music video that I directed. And just call me Universal Studios.
I
do it all.
And not only that,
I am the studio baby.
Right.
Well, I'm here to call
Zoey
you
Luna
because
finesse.
we be looking for a job, Mr.
Yes.
Listen.
Well, we'll do it. Whatever we want. Let's work together, Zoey. I'm over it. Like
I love working with people that I just meet, so let's do it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's how we do things.
Get into it. Yeah.
No, for real.
Yeah, no, for real. No, but like, call me after this. Like,
No, I'm so down. No, genuinely, I love collaborating and meeting with new people, and like, it's honestly just like when you get the vibe, you get the vibe. So I'm always down. Yeah, I just, it's surprising that growing up and like knowing that a lot of people were out to use me and actually being victim to a lot of people wanting to use me for certain things. It's a weird thing that I'm just so trusting. But at the end of the day, I think it has a lot to do with my spirituality and like a lot with like me just knowing that like I'm protected by God. And so I went through all of the worst shit that I already had to go through. And now I'm just kind of like, okay, that was bad, but it worked for me. So I'm totally chill. So I'm very trusting, which is, you know what? I'm just being the main character, and if people hurt me, it's servicing the plot. So
wow.
Period.
I love that.
Honestly, you just listen, you have really taken
knowledge
like
bomb.
you've taken like all the negativity that you have been through and turned it into positives. And I think that so many people don't do that because they just sit in the negativity. And I know it, I've struggled with that in times where it's like, woe is me.
It's
but like,
easier.
It's easier to do that. But I really appreciate you having that. And I want to say, like, I too am so blown away. I think you're super talented. Like, we are huge fans of the craft, and I think that you are super talented. And I you worked with a friend of ours who is in Pride the series, Scott Turner Schofield.
oh wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of it's crazy how the world works, and like us being able to talk to you today, I'm so honored, and I thought the movie was great.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And and to speak just briefly on, sitting with the pain and having to deal with that, honestly, I owe all of this positivity to being able to sit with that pain and allow for me to actually be like, woe is me. Because I think we all have this, grind and hustle mentality of like trying not to take things too seriously. And so when we get to that point of like, woe is me, because genuinely woe has been me, it's a really uncomfortable position. And it's just like, you don't want to allow yourself to acknowledge that you are the victim in certain situations, because it leads to a lot of like possible like egoism. But I think you have to allow yourself the room to go through all of that to be able to get to this like pot of gold that I've essentially gone through over this past like entire 2021, I would say. So we love the woe is me period too. Let's not get that wrong.
Right.
Can you let our listeners know a little bit more of the process that you have come to be so confident in who you are as a trans woman? Because myself, I feel like I have the same story, being spiritual. I grew up in a very religious home. I got connected to God more so when I came out. All of us here at Pride the Podcast, we're all queer and believe in a higher power. So tell our listeners a little bit like your experience.
Well, so the beginning of my life started very lonely. I had to share the attention of my mother with one of my cousins who was born fucking 3 weeks after me, the little whore. And am I not supposed to curse?
No,
please curse away.
When we get to the place of heaven, I'm gonna say shit, fire, fuck.
Perfect, because every fucking time I speak, it's just another bad word. So great, I feel comfortable. But so
we all have potty mouths, so
perfect. At least we're allowing ourselves to be free. But So definitely I had to share my mom with my cousin, because my mom was like this person. Her name is Ophelia. So she thinks that because it means the word help, that she needs to give help to people. But I don't think she has realized that it means that the bitch needs fucking help. So, but love you, Mom, so much. Thanks for kicking me out and not standing up for me, bitch. Okay. Anyway.
Now that we got that out of the way.
Yeah, now that we got that out of the way. Yeah, I mean, a lot of my trauma has to do with my familyhood, and which is such an, like, it's almost like, can you believe that? Because when I was younger, I mean, my mom, she really accepted me being a transgender woman. To this day, I don't know if it's because she just genuinely accepts me for me, or if it's because it led to her getting a platform and getting this big egoism type of thing where she was able to be recognized as a good mother. And I think that that's something that she feels really hard on herself about, which is like not being the best mother, because she hasn't been. And so I think for her, accepting me as trans was a leeway to giving her the life that she wanted to have. And so I had to grow up being the parent and also having to accept the fact that I was never the child. And so that led to a lot of unhealthy dynamics with the person that is in power of me, because she wants to feel in control. And then me having to understand that, like, but why should she be in power of me when I'm the one helping this bitch out? So I've been taken advantage of by my mother, by my brother, and then ultimately I was discarded because I wanted to not have to lie and kiss her ass every day to the media and tell them that she's the most supportive mother on the planet, because she accepts one thing about me, which is me being trans. Accepting that I'm trans is like accepting that I have black hair. Like, that shouldn't be a thing that you have to be rewarded for. Right. So yeah, I had to go through a lot of adversity with that shit. And I think that that's kind of what led into the spiral of me realizing my body has been on run survival mode. And so now that I've got into a place where I have my own apartment, I've been able to decompress, and I have no one to fight with other than the walls. So that led to a lot of my growth this year, and being able to finally be able to let that out. So that's, I think, why I'm super confident. And it's a constant process of recycling that whole process. And it's just like, you think you're secure, but you're never fucking secure. So just keep growing.
Yeah. I mean, right. Zoey, I want to like come in on that about the point where people feeling like that, oh, I accept you. So like, that's a point for me. And I remember when I was first coming out as a gay man, like my mom, at first she wasn't as accepting because she didn't understand, you know, she thought maybe she had done something wrong. And I remember when my father called me, and my parents are divorced and, you know, whatever. I remember when he called me, he's like, oh, how did your mom take it? I was like, oh, she didn't take it well. He said, well, I love it. And then I realized it was only for him to get a point. It was only for him to be like, I'm the good parent. Like, see, I accept it. When in reality, you know, I think I accept now my mom's journey to accepting it better than him pretending to just to be like, I'm cooler than your mom. It was very odd. And I think about that all the time. And you make a good point there that like, sometimes people say, I accept you, only to become this,
satisfy
like, hero
themselves.
And satisfy themselves. Right. That's really weird.
And like your story kind of reminds me of how like the dynamic between my sister and her daughter, my niece, is, I mean, you know, she just passed away, so I'm not gonna like talk shit on her, but it was a lot like, you know, she dealt with her struggles, and my niece had to grow up very quickly, very like, you know, she was maybe 13 when she had to become like an adult. And so it's like, I completely understand where you're coming from in terms of that, you know. And that's rough and that's hard, and that does shape and mold someone very quickly, very early, and sometimes not for the best. And sometimes, you know, in your case, thank God, you know, you flourished and you blossomed out of that pain, because sometimes it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely believe that like I was thinking about this a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago. It was like 2 days ago, bitch. But I was sitting in my room, and I was just thinking, I don't know what prompted me to think about this, but it's always at night when I'm having a lot of these like disturbing thoughts, these intrusive thoughts. And so I start thinking a lot during my sleep, because, well, in all honesty, I was molested in my sleep by my brother. So every time I go to sleep, it's a really hard fucking process to actually go to sleep. So I get all these things that I guess my brain is subconsciously wanting me to remember so that I do not fall asleep. And so in this event, I was basically remembering how, well, I came out of my mom's womb and I just had nothing but unconditional love. I was the only person that just wanted to accept her. And all I ever cared for was being there for her and loving her and giving her endless amounts of love. And I feel like as children, I don't know if that's all of us, I'm pretty sure it is, because I mean, we don't know anything other than being love and light. I mean, we were literally probably with fucking God before then. So I don't know. I just came out and I just remember loving her, and I'm getting to a point that I'm forgetting about, but I think the point is that, you know, oh, got it. I'm here to love and support, and I'm here to love and support myself. And so thankfully I have been able to come into this position because I just genuinely I'm glad that I was abandoned and left alone as a child, because I just really knew how I felt the entire time. And since I was alone and no one wanted to deal with me, I was able to just deal with myself and start to envision the world I wanted, and to start realizing, and just from the beginning, I just was aware of myself, and I was aware that I love, and having that capacity to be able to accept that you've loved someone really helps you go throughout life with understanding and having empathy for other people, because then you have to start learning how to have it for yourself. And so, yeah.
How old are you?
Very bad. Yeah.
I'm 20. I just make French toast, remember?
Damn.
Like, you're giving me some knowledge. I'm over here taking notes. I was like, girl, you need to get your life together.
So we're over here at our men.
Thank you for that.
And it's taken us, I'm speaking for everybody here.
Yeah.
It's taken us a long time to get to the point that you just expressed. So anyway, I guess I just want to say, like, wow, how impressive it is. Like, and it's not just an age thing, it's a soul thing. And I feel like you're a very you're a soul who has been present before, I guess, because your knowledge and your wisdom that you're sharing to not only us but our listeners is very, I don't know, poignant.
Yeah,
like it's just on par with how everybody should be living.
Yeah, and thank you for being so open with us. You know, like, definitely, like, people talking about these issues will help somebody, you know, and because a lot of people like to hold it in, and, you know, we don't want to talk about, like, the stuff that we go through. We think it's better somehow to just not talk about it, but it's not.
And to piggyback off of that, to be honest, it's like, we learn that our parents are human too, right? And I think sometimes when we're growing up as a child, we put our parents on these pedestals, and that's fine, but you can also say they are humans who make mistakes. Listen, no one wrote a guide, I don't think, on how to be a parent. No one wrote a guide on how to be a child. So we just kind of exist in these positions, and it's like, all right, well, I think this is what I'm supposed to do. I mean, as a child, I think I'm supposed to go outside and play and, like, do all of this and, you know, and then as a parent, it's like, I'm supposed to make sure there's meals, but, you know, sometimes there are missteps in that. And I think it's so important for people to see that have went through that, like you have, that they can come out on the other side and be as amazing as you and have that knowledge.
Yeah. And, you know, I definitely want to touch on, you know, my mom. Like, I'm learning to be able to get to a position where I think the key to being able to forgive her is to allow myself to feel the way I feel about her and be able to express myself. And so it's a really hard thing to do, to practice forgiveness with someone that gets mad at you, but also at the same time understands you and says, oh, well, why would you say those things about me? You really don't love me. You don't give a shit about me. I'm like, bitch, I'm the child. I may have all this fucking wisdom, but at the end of the day, I'm allowed to speak how I feel. And also, if anything, that just shows how non-childish in my head I am, because I'm allowing that shit to come out instead of fucking holding it in and thinking about it behind your back and telling everyone in the fucking, you know, I tell this shit to your face. I tell you how you've hurt me. And it's just like, I love her and I forgive her. And at this point, I just cannot continue to have this relationship with her. I mean, the bitch pays my phone bill, so I mean, there's some type of connection we have.
But, priorities, you know, priorities, okay.
Priorities, yeah. So but yeah, definitely.
Zoe, before we transition off of this Sunday sermon, how is your current relationship? You kind of already spoken to it, but your current relationship with your mother and father today at this very moment?
So my dad died a long time ago, but he is a great soul. I don't know if he's being forced by God to give me all these opportunities, or if, like, you die and you just start to, like, love everything and realize that you were a shit person. But genuinely, I think my dad was my biggest supporter because he died early. He let me transition. And so I think in some type of way, he knew that his place wasn't here because he could not grow and adapt. And I think that for whatever reason, his purpose was very finite and it was finalized. And so me and him have a great relationship. You know, there's weird things that I'll get, like opportunities for, and then I'll show up and it's like a building that me and him used to go to all the time. It's a really weird dynamic. So I know he's here with me all the time, and I really appreciate him. And my mother and me, I hate to be airing my mom's tea out because I feel like it's so unfair, but at the end of the day, it's just like,
it's your story.
Bitch,
your truth.
Yeah. I would say that with her, it's very much me understanding that she doesn't have the capacity to love anyone because she's never loved herself. So it's just like, in that situation, I cannot continue to put my best foot forward or even try to communicate with her, because it's a child not understanding what they're doing wrong and not wanting to take accountability. And so until she actually is able to do so, then maybe there'll be something else. But at the end of the day, I really believe that you allow people to treat you how you want to be treated. So I just can't be in that situation. But I do love her. Hope she's great.
Yeah.
Very that.
Wow.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for this Sunday sermon. Darrell.
Yes. I want to like switch because, okay, I love scary shit. Like, that's my thing.
It's
and,
spooky season.
It's definitely spooky season. And I don't know if you're familiar, but, you know, I'm very, very love Days of Our Lives, and they have the possession story going on again, so I'm on my shit. So Mar Devil is my favorite shit. So talking about the craft, how did it feel to be a part of something so iconic? You know, the original craft we loved. And I will admit, when we first saw the new craft coming out, we were like, what is this gonna be about? Like, is this gonna be good? Is it gonna, because you never know. I mean, right now the whole thing is rebooting and reimagining, and you know, you never know. And I thought, again, like I said, it was really good. So how did you feel of being a part of it?
I mean, how did I feel? It was like such a weird time in my life, because when I became a part of the craft, I had recently got kicked out by my mom at 17 years old. And then I got the audition while I was 17, but then I booked the role when I was 18. So honestly, it was like, oh my God, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to have money. So I think I felt very excited. But okay, to be completely honest, when I got the audition, and like, this is super fucking gross, and I know I don't want it to sound like it's just me coming out of my fucking ass, but when I saw this, I immediately thought, this is for the kids. Because at the end of the day, I grew up, and I mean, I think the only transgender like characters in my phase were on Degrassi, on T-Nick, because we're not in Canada. So
Degrassi. I know what you're talking about too. I think his name was Adam Torres.
Adam, yeah. I've been rewatching Degrassi Next Generation, so I'm like, oh, they did a pretty fucking good job. Yeah, so I just knew, I was like, okay, this is going to be a reference point for someone else to be able to point at and be like, Mom, that's how I feel. Look at what this bitch looks like. Like, maybe I don't want to look like her, but like, maybe we don't all look like the image in your head that you think of us as. And there's nothing wrong with that image, by the fucking way. Right. But at the end of the day, it's just like, you know, a lot of people have this perceived notion of us, and it's because of our opportunities and our, you know, privileges, or not privileges that we participate in, but the privileges that we were allowed to have because of this fucked up system. Right. So it's just like, you know, I think I remember feeling like this is going to be for someone at home who gets to look at me and say, oh, I relate. This is how I want to be addressed, because I didn't fucking know the word transgender when I came out. So I just felt really excited.
That's amazing. I mean, is there one character from the original that you felt that you were like taking like pointers from in terms of that, like in this new one?
Yeah, so I mean, I remember I felt a lot of Bonnie energy. I wanted it so desperately not to be Bonnie energy, just because I wanted to feel like Perusa.
Right.
I wanted to be the Nancy.
Yeah. I definitely felt a lot of Bonnie energy from her, but I also felt like honestly, Lourdes was the accumulation of all three of the original witches, and also obviously Sarah, because I think Sarah was the earth sign in the movie. But I felt like I was really the embodiment of all three of them, and I mainly felt a lot of Bonnie vibes character wise, but then I felt a lot of style references to Nancy's character. I felt like, okay, I'm gonna be the indie alt girl in the group. So yeah, I did feel a nod, and then of course costume told me, they were like, you're the Nancy of the movie, and I was like, okay, but I don't have the character line of Nancy, so look wise, got it. Okay, cool.
Right. Did any of those energies transition like off of set? Like, did you get any of Nancy vibes when you weren't really filming?
Any witchcraft?
I'm just asking like the witchy part. I really want to get into the witchy part as you as a person.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so as a person, well, there was a lot of synchronicities, and before I had gotten to be in the craft, I was already a practicing witch. I have my freaking incense behind me, I have my crystals, I have my candles that I was burning. I've always been very spiritual, except for one time when I was like atheist and Satanist, and it was a weird situation. I was in high school. Anyway. But yeah, I was always very spiritual, and when I was about like 16, I started getting really into astrology. So I had always felt very spiritually inclined, and I think I unknowingly manifested this role by creating, that's another story. But to answer your question, I definitely would say that I do feel like I kind of transitioned into more of my character for sure. I feel like my character is very, she was herself when she knew that she could be herself. So I feel like, that's what I kind of transitioned into. But we definitely, the girls in us, we all did all these rituals. We definitely did all the little homages behind the scenes to almost every single like iconic witch moment in TV and history. So.
I love that. I love that.
Oh my goodness. And I love at the end of the movie that like all the girls come together rather than the first one where everybody's like at each other's throats.
Yeah.
Right.
That touch that I really enjoyed in the new film.
Yeah, I think it really, like, I think some people have a problem with it for many reasons, but I think the main thing that I noticed was that the issue that I noticed most of all was that like a lot of people hate when like characters get things without it seeming necessarily like it was earned. And so a lot of people felt that with the transitions in regards to us gaining power. And what I actually felt like it was a perfect embodiment of Gen Z culture, because every bitch in Gen Z gets a fucking trophy for showing up. And we all just seem to be grasping onto it and moving forward. I mean, like, I'm fucking 20 and I'm out here giving Sunday sermons, like y'all said. And it's like,
I literally just made up that term today. So please use it. Please use it.
Well, so I just want to know before we let you go, it is spooky season. You were part of a spooky movie. What is your favorite scary movie?
I would say just right now it's Malignant, but
we just watched that.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list.
We watched it, and
it was great. How did y'all feel?
Without giving any spoilers, I will say I thought about it for 48 hours. The movie was wild. That's the best way to say it. I didn't know at first. I was like, do I like this? Is this something that like I'm gonna, really like? And then I did, and I thought the twist was great. I'm trying not to give spoil. Like I'm like watching what I'm saying because I don't want because it's easy to let something slip out. But then I did research afterwards to know something, and I was like, wow, this is real. It was really good. That's all I
love that.
If not, I'll fall into it.
All right. But if you had to choose something from like the 80s and 90s.
She was just born yesterday.
I don't care.
Shut the fuck up. If I were to pick something old school wise, I guess I would have to go with, I do love Scream.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it. I love it.
It's what I specifically like Scream 2 more.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're definitely all kindred spirits.
It's
because it's Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay,
let me tell you something. You and I
You're in our heads.
No, we're gonna be really best friends, and the reason why, so I don't hear many people saying that they like Scream 2. They're like Scream 1, obviously because it redefined horror. This girl came over to our house the other day. We were hanging out, and she was like, "Well, my favorite movie is Scream 2." You are the second person.
Now
that I've heard say that
like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. And so. It's iconic. I do that opening scene all the time. Anytime that movie come on, I'll get up and just be like Jada and go down. And she's just like it's great. I love that movie. Sarah Michelle, it's great. We're gonna definitely talk about that offline.
Yes.
I want to talk about that, but I think Ashley has a question as well that she wants.
No, I wanted to talk about Dear Evan Hansen, because you have a little cameo in there, and so can you tell us about that, or what can you tell us? It comes out this Friday.
Oh my God. Yeah, it does.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that was definitely it was a very fast and long process. We filmed in Atlanta. It was great. COVID restrictions freaking suck. False positives ruined my moment.
Oh no.
Yeah. But definitely it was a very fun and amazing experience to get to be a part of. And I'm playing just this hot non-trans actually. We're breaking the mold, guys. I'm a cisgender.
Get out of here. Wow.
Yes.
Look at Hollywood.
I'm a little sissy fishy. Yeah.
You are giving all of these clips and I love it. I mean, listen, I really appreciate that, Zoe, when we do shows and stuff now where, you know, it's great to talk about, you know, the trans movement, but it's like you are a woman. Right. And so let you live in that and not use you for like something. And I really like that they did that. So
a prop.
Yeah, you are a woman and you're full-fledged and I love it.
Thank you. Well, in all honesty, the director didn't even know I was Latina or that I was trans until he found out. So
wow,
there you go. That's
there
awesome.
You go. We love that.
We love blending in, assimilating.
Hello, assimilating. Yes,
we're taking over the world.
Listen, I've been trying all my life, and then I still don't. But that's why I love me.
Okay.
we like you too, Brayden.
Thanks.
Yes. But yeah, no, Dear Evan Hansen was great. It was a very fun thing. I'm playing a cheerleader. I have a boyfriend. Yeah. Catch me in the corner if you can.
I'm gonna watch.
Don't tease me unless you're gonna please me. I'll find that corner.
What do you think about? Well, all right.
I was like, are we about to ask the same question?
What?
What do you for the? I was going to say what they think about Ben Platt.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, what do you think of all the controversy with like Ben Platt and like the de-aging? And...
Give us the tea.
Well, I really love the people who made this movie. I really love the director, Steven. But in all honesty, it's like we get either 7 years old or I don't know how old Ben Platt looks, but not young. So we either get 7 years old or just the real deal. And so that is a little controversial in my mind. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it's not, that's not, I guess, the whole takeaway for me. I guess what the whole takeaway for me is like, depending on which version you watch, obviously, if you go and watch the DH version, you're going to be looking at it and it's going to be an eyesore. But I think the real takeaway is the message of this movie and the message of the story. And it's, you know, it has a lot of impact that has changed a lot of people's lives and it touches on a lot of real things. So at the end of the day, you know, be it what it is, I'm going to say it for what it is. But at the same time, let's watch the movie and let's see if we can get past that and just buy the tickets to the right one you want to watch.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question. So that's an actual thing, like the de-aged version is...
You'll be able to see either or.
Yeah. But my thing is, too, whenever we were watching High School Musical, those bitches were in their 30s. Whenever we were watching Glee, those bitches were in their 30s and 40s.
Leah Michelle did not look 17.
Girl, that voice is even 60 years old.
Stacey Dash was 30 years old.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And I will say that I went to Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway the week that it opened as part of the media night. And I was shaking the seats that we were all sitting in because I was crying because I was crying so hard because the message is so true, especially to today's kids in the LGBTQ plus like community. It's just such a good message.
Yeah. And I really think it's going to be good. And I'm excited to, you know, Broadway is coming back and I definitely want to go see it and like also support the movie. So I think it's important to support the movie and most of all, support you. But before we go, Zoe, one quick thing. I know we keep saying before we go.
Right. It's like the OT time.
Tell us about upcoming projects that you have going on. We also know about the documentary Raising Zoey. So talk to us about that really quickly and for our listeners.
Well, fuck Raising Zoey. Like I didn't flip off the right way. Fuck Dante Allen Costre. You're a fucking weirdo who just wants a mom to love you. Get the fuck out of my fucking business. Fuck you, bitch. You exploited my family, and when my mom kicked me out, you did not help me, and you took her to go to an event so she could get paid for looking like a good mother. So Dante Allen Costre, you can go fucking suck a dick. That's on period. But second,
well,
I'm so glad I asked.
I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm just kidding.
It's on site.
Yeah, it's on site.
No, just kidding. I'm really such a lady.
I love it.
But yeah, no, Raising Zoey, if y'all want to watch it and go watch a movie, because at the end of the day, that was a fucking movie. It was not my real life at the fuck all. Maybe in the first act, sure. As I got older, I had to deal with a bunch of shit. CPS was coming in. I had to lie to CPS. Bitch, you know the real tea, and you decided to go with that. So fuck you. Took advantage of a child and their mother just because you wanted to project this idea of your false relationship you had with your mom. So go to therapy. And then other projects I have coming up, probably court. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Zoey, you are insane.
I cannot.
Zoey, you've got to come to New York and we've got to hang the fuck out. Like,
I would love to.
No, that would be amazing.
That was perfect.
Bitch said probably court.
See me with those papers, bitch. Like, real. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm directing with my talent agency a music video cover for "You Will Be Found." And it's not because I didn't get enough airtime, guys. It's because I wanted to help my company out, and I wanted to showcase all of the amazing talent that we have on our roster. Because I'm not like one of those like bitchy little Broadway girls that needs more and more and more. So I was fine. I was happy. I got to show up. I looked hot. So yeah, I'm directing for the first time, and it's coming out soon. It'll be out probably next week, I guess, since the movie comes out next Friday or this Friday. So yeah, keep out for that, and then see me on the movies.
Yeah, honestly, so much fun. I literally don't want this interview to end. You're so fun. You've honestly brightened my spirits. I'm like currently dealing, like I had a really close friend pass away, and you have brightened my spirits today. My entire energy just went through the roof. So thank you for like being a light and being today my light. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad we got to have this.
You made me like feel so good today.
Yeah.
So whenever we're in Cali, we'll hit you up. Whenever you're in New York, please hit us up. We would just love to hang out and like read us all to filth, astrology wise.
Yes.
I got you.
So Zoey Luna, thank you so much for hanging out with Pride the Podcast. We thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Like Darrell said, you are just a light, and keep on flaming.
Keep on living, mama.
Thank you so much, guys. I am so glad I got to be here. And thank you all for watching.
Yeah. So tell our listeners and our fans outside where they can find you on the social medias.
So on the social web, you can find me on Instagram at I am Zoey Luna. I have a Facebook. Don't look it up, bitch.
I'm not at you.
Yeah. So mostly Instagram, and I have a horrible TikTok account, but it's private anyway. So yeah, Instagram.
Love it.
Cute.
Love it.
We love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zoey.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.